plenty of fallout for Snoop Dogg after performing at Donald Trump's inauguration.
We agree to disagree a lot, and it ain't always on the same page. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. Donald say he wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not? It wouldn't be the first time you pushed a black family out of their home.
Oh my God, you won't believe what's going down with Snoop Dogg right now. He is absolutely livid and he's not holding anything back. With that signature West Coast swagger we all know and love, Snoop's showing everyone why he's still the undisputed king of rap. But here's the tea. This isn't just Snoop barking, he's actually biting this time. His explosive reaction has everyone's jaws dropping, and people can't stop wondering, who are these rappers that are doing Snoop so dirty? And let's be real, is Snoop really innocent in all this? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like karma might have finally caught up with him.
So Snoop sat down with Larry Jackson.
Let me spill the whole story. It's absolutely juicy. For years, Snoop was out there dragging anyone who even breathed in Trump's direction. But now, oh honey, the tables have turned. He's found himself in the hot seat after cozying up to Trump's inner circle, and those same people who used to cheer him on, they are coming for him with everything they've got. D.L. Hewley and Ana Navarro are going straight for the jugular, and Elon Musk. He's making sure nobody misses the delicious irony of it all. Everyone's asking the same thing. What in the world is going on with Snoop, and why is he so pressed?
Cooperation, it begins with the leadership in this body. So thank you for that, Mr. President. You make our jobs a lot easier. You made an important point.
Let me tell you, Snoop's been having some seriously rough nights, and it's starting to show. He's not just angry, he's genuinely hurt, and I kind of get it when he says people are coming for him. So what does he do? He hops on Instagram, because where else? And reminds everyone that he's black, still black, always been black.
Yeah. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I'm cool. I'm together. Still a black man. Still 100% black.
But here's the gag. That's not even what people were mad about. And if he thought that little reminder would shut everyone up, child, please, it had the exact opposite effect. The backlash got even worse. You can't help but notice how orchestrated these takedowns feel. It's like the internet has turned into its own judge, jury, and executioner, turning fan movements into full-blown criticism campaigns. And right now, Snoop's the one in their crosshairs. The fallout? Devastating. He lost nearly 600,000 Instagram followers overnight.
The rapper speaking out on Instagram after reportedly losing over 500,000 followers on the platform. A move triggered by angry fans who aren't cool with Snoop performing for 47.
But losing followers? That's just the tip of the iceberg, darling. What's really got everyone talking is how the industry has completely flipped the script on him. The same media personalities, fellow artists, and cultural voices that used to sing his praises for speaking his mind, they're now the ones screaming the loudest against him. And let's be honest, Trump's presence in entertainment has turned the whole industry into this messy battlefield where you never know if your next move might be your last.
And finally, Donald Trump's presidential win has sparked an exodus of American celebrities, many of whom are now seeking refuge abroad.
Just look at what happened to Cardi B, and trust me, this is where it gets really messy. We all know Cardi's always been outspoken, always had opinions, but after Trump's re-election, she absolutely lost it. She went on this rant saying, "I hate everyone that voted for Donald Trump," and honey, her own fans turned on her so fast. They dragged her for being too emotional, pushing too hard, being out of touch. But did Cardi back down? Oh no. She doubled down and nearly started a full-on war with her own supporters, calling them toxic and saying she's done dealing with them.
Hey, so listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now, okay? So you little Trumpets, like, y'all won, I know y'all happy, whatever the fuck, ain't nobody acting like bitter losers. However, y'all need to leave me the alone.
And Ellen DeGeneres? Now that's what I call a plot twist. She saw the writing on the wall and didn't even bother fighting. Remember when she said she'd leave if Trump got reelected? Well, unlike some people who just talk, she actually did it. Packed up, sold her estate, and bounced to the UK with Portia. No statements, no debates, just disappeared like a ghost.
Latest one to join the list is former TV show host Ellen DeGeneres, who along with her partner Portia de Rossi has swapped the Stars and Stripes for the Union Jack.
Even Saturday Night Live, yes, the Saturday Night Live, had to switch things up. After spending entire seasons dragging Trump through the mud, they suddenly started playing nice with this weird sarcastic tone, acting like, oh, maybe we were too hard on him. They even had cast members half-jokingly apologizing for dismissing Trump too early, like they suddenly realized they might have played a part in how this whole mess turned out. When SNL starts backpedaling, you know something serious is going down. And speaking of messy situations, let's talk about how Snoop's been getting absolutely roasted lately. Elon Musk made sure everyone saw the receipts, and trust me, they were scalding hot. He posted this side-by-side comparison that had everyone Snoop's old anti-Trump rants right next to footage of him performing at Trump's crypto ball. And just to twist the knife, Musk captioned it, "The vibe shift is real." Translation? Snoop, you played yourself. The timing couldn't have been worse. This wasn't just about any performance. This was about Snoop going from calling Trump every name in the book to suddenly cashing checks at his events. The same man he once called racist. And Musk, he just lit the match and watched the internet explode.
What has he done to show that he hates black people? Let's look at before he ran for president the first time. All you seen him with was fucking rappers and entertainers. All you seen him in every rap song, niggas love Trump.
The Shade Room and Baller Alert were not about to let Snoop catch a break either. They dug deep into the archives and pulled out all his old receipts, including that infamous Instagram rant where he went off on artists for even thinking about performing for Trump. Remember when he straight up called them sellouts? Well, the internet police went into absolute overdrive. Twitter was flooded with reminders of everything Snoop ever said, and the Instagram comments, pure chaos. Snoop, you played yourself was trending faster than a viral dance challenge. Some people even brought up Michelle Obama, saying she had more backbone than these rappers because she refused to have anything to do with Trump. But wait, it gets even juicier. People started digging into Snoop's past, bringing up every time he supposedly switched sides when it benefited him. His rocky relationship with Suge Knight, how he kind of left Kendrick Lamar hanging during that whole Drake beef. Suddenly, everything was under the microscope.
I'm one to accept truth when it's brought to me directly. What had happened was, I did a collaborative post with someone. When I do it, I don't listen to the music. Then I get the word, nephew, didn't like what you did. What did I do?
While Musk was just throwing shade with laughing emojis, the internet took that ball and ran with it. Now Snoop found himself in a position he never thought he'd be in, getting dragged by the very culture he helped create. But if you think Elon's shade was bad, just wait until you hear what D.L. Hewley and Ana Navarro had to say. And trust me, they did not hold back.
That we always stick together, we're good at tearing each other apart, which is pretty constant. It's pretty consistent when somebody gets into trouble. It takes backlash from the community. It's always a communal thing.
D.L. Hewley came for Snoop's neck. He wasn't just throwing words around, he hit him where it hurt. Told him to take a long, hard look in the mirror and explain how he went from being Trump's biggest critic, dragging other rappers for performing at his events, to suddenly collecting checks at Trump-affiliated parties. Hewley wasn't even mad. He was just disappointed. And somehow that felt even worse.
To a situation like that, you tell us we can't stick together. We've shown you we have. We've shown you we did. We voted in more specific numbers than any other demographic in the nation. We did stick together.
And then Ana Navarro stepped into the ring on The View, and honey, she chose violence. She went straight for the jugular, declaring that Snoop had lost all credibility. She dragged him for flip-flopping when the money was right, calling it embarrassing for someone who'd spent years branding himself as too real for politics.
January 7th, 2021. But you were there now, applauding him like a trained SEAL? Donald Trump has not changed. You've changed.
But Navarro wasn't done. She reminded everyone that other artists got completely canceled for doing exactly what Snoop just did. The backlash got so loud it wasn't just Twitter anymore. Snoop was getting flamed on national TV. And here's the tea. He wasn't the only one catching heat. The moment Snoop stepped into the fire, other artists who performed at Trump events started feeling the burn too. Rick Ross, Nelly, Jewel, nobody was safe.
There are a lot of rappers who have sided with Donald Trump for all kinds of, he pardoned several of them.
Giving away pardons.
John Rich from the country music scene made sure to call them all out. He pointed out how these were the exact same artists who once swore they'd never have anything to do with Trump, and now they're happily collecting checks from his events. And let's be real, he wasn't wrong. Just a few years ago, these artists wouldn't go near anything Trump-related if you paid them. Then Sonny Hostin jumped in and brought up something that had everyone talking. Chrisette Michelle's career literally vanished after she performed at Trump's 2017 inauguration. Yet somehow these male rappers are getting a pass? The double standard was glaring.
It's more about just respect for the office. You know what I mean? It's not about a campaign. This is not a campaign trail. This is not anything that I feel like I'm influencing people to sway either way on how they feel, but it's more about the respect and the honor.
Now, some of these explanations actually worked for certain artists. After all, plenty of performers do shows without agreeing with the politics behind them. But Snoop? He wasn't getting that same grace. Why? Because his entire brand was built on clowning Trump and anyone who stood next to him. So while Nelly, Ross, and Jewel could brush off the criticism, Snoop was drowning in it. And everyone kept asking, was this really just about a performance? Or was the industry making an example out of him?
How about Death Row? How many relationships you got with Death Row?
Everybody.
What is Suge's role? What's Suge's role in all of this?
What role?
I mean, what's Suge's role?
Let me ask you a question. Suge Knight, did that man change your life forever?
He changed my life forever. Suge Knight was one of the best that I ever ran across in my life. For the simple fact that he was so honest, so real, so true.
But here's where it gets really spicy. If there's one person who's sitting back saying, "I told you so," it's Suge Knight. According to him, this is just classic Snoop behavior. Remember when the East Coast-West Coast war was at its peak? Snoop was supposedly riding with Death Row, Suge, and Tupac, but when things got too intense, suddenly he was playing both sides. In this infamous interview, Snoop had the audacity to say Biggie and Diddy were his friends, which, as you can imagine, didn't sit well with Pac or Suge. That moment created a rift that never healed.
And then he started getting calls and shit, and they was telling him that Tupac got shot and da-da-da-da-da, this, that, and this.
Only way you would have a radio if you was at the fight with us and you had a security detail.
Suge has never trusted Snoop since then, especially after what went down with Death Row Records. He's been crystal clear in multiple interviews that Snoop's loyalty shifts wherever the power is. First, he was Death Row's golden boy, then suddenly he's shaking hands with Master P and No Limit to save his career, and now he's performing at Trump-affiliated events.
You think Snoop Dogg is a rat? What you mean? Look at this camera, because Snoop Dogg got to order protection on Suge Knight, and Suge Knight calls my phone every other week.
What you mean he got to order protection?
He got to order protection on Suge Knight in the 90s. The whole West Coast know about it.
Suge's latest prison interview? Oh, it was explosive. He straight up accused Snoop of being part of Tupac's downfall. And if that wasn't shocking enough, Suge dropped this bomb. He claimed Snoop told Daz Dillinger to stay away from Vegas the night Pac was shot because something's going to happen.
But Snoop, Daz, and the rest of them, they did a song with one of the niggas from that side who was in the car.
And now Snoop and Diddy are suddenly best friends? Suge isn't buying it for a second. He said if Snoop really cared about Pac's legacy, he wouldn't be cozying up to the same people Pac was beefing with. To make matters worse, Suge's been running his mouth about how Snoop got Death Row back, claiming it was all through shady business moves, bankruptcy fraud, and backdoor deals. And with this Trump situation playing out the way it has, people are starting to wonder if Suge might have been right all along.
And besides, let's just put all that to the side. Yeah. Are we not allowed to change our minds when we gain new information? Maybe he fell for the media propaganda of, oh, Trump's a racist, Trump is this, Trump is bad.
Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any deeper, the Joe Budden podcast crew had to weigh in on Snoop's latest controversy. According to them, Snoop should have seen this backlash coming the moment he stepped onto that stage.
Biggest rapper today, is the Shaquille O'Neal of rap. That crypto ball, you know what crypto is doing. You know they paying 100x what you would typically get.
Joe took this brutally witty approach that had everyone talking. He said Snoop's biggest problem wasn't even the backlash. It was acting like people wouldn't notice what he was doing. They reminded everyone how Snoop had spent years being one of Trump's most vocal critics, absolutely destroying any black artist who even thought about performing for him. And now here he is, cashing checks at a Trump-affiliated event.
We did see Snoop a couple years ago thanking Trump for pardoning Harry O, who is the original founder of Death Row Records, which Snoop now owns.
But Budden's crew wasn't even shocked by any of this. To them, it was crystal clear. This was all about business over morals, plain and simple. They exposed Snoop's deep connections to the cryptocurrency world, pointing out that this wasn't just some random performance. It was a crypto-funded event that perfectly aligned with his financial interests.
It wasn't the inauguration.
Well, it was the party the day before.
It was a crypto.
It was a few days before.
A crypto event a few days before, and Snoop is heavy into the crypto world.
Charlemagne Thaw God over at Power 106 hit the nail on the head when he broke it all down. He said this isn't just about the performance, it's about the pure hypocrisy of it all. He brought up how Chrisette Michelle's entire career was absolutely demolished for performing at Trump's first inauguration. Yet Snoop, Nelly, and the others are just getting some light criticism. The double standard was impossible to ignore.
You know, the hypocrisy that people display in regards to who they like and don't like is mind-blowing to me. Like, there is no way you are more mad at rappers for performing at these inauguration events than you are.
Then Reggie Wright stepped into the conversation, and he did not come to play. Known for exposing all the behind-the-scenes details from Snoop's past, Reggie's take was absolutely scorching. According to him, Snoop knew exactly what he was doing, and now he's just mad because people are calling him out on it. Reggie didn't stop there. He straight up called Snoop a politician and a sellout, saying this isn't about Trump at all. It's about Snoop's pattern of playing both sides whenever it benefits him.
I'm telling you what Snoop told me. I have permission from him to say this to y'all. If he didn't want me to tell y'all this, I wouldn't be telling y'all none of this. Because I ain't violating nobody's trust.
Now that all the damage is done, everyone's wondering, how does Snoop bounce back from this? Or does he even care? Because right now, his silence is speaking volumes louder than any excuse ever could. Snoop might have thought this was just another performance, but the fallout is proving otherwise. The internet has been absolutely relentless, industry voices have spoken up, and even his former allies are giving him major side-eye.
Ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out of one of you.
So here's what everyone's dying to know. Did Snoop set himself up for this massive fall? Or is this backlash just another case of selective outrage? Is this really about holding artists accountable? Or is there a serious double standard at play? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is far from over. And if you thought this was wild, just wait until you see what's coming next. Trust me, you do not want to miss it. Click the next video and see for yourself. This whole situation just keeps getting messier by the day, and everyone's wondering what the next chapter in this drama will bring. One thing's for sure, in the entertainment industry, your past comments can definitely come back to haunt you, and Snoop is learning that lesson the hard way.